Shocking claims that one of the country's largest Christian denominations suppressed allegations of sexual abuse for years. A scathing new report commissioned by the Southern Baptist Convention describes decades of cover-ups within its clergy and membership and leadership. The SBC is a network of roughly 47,000 independently run Baptist churches with more than 14 million members nationwide. Nikki Battiste is following this story for us. Nikki, this was a self-commissioned report. Good morning.
Indeed, Tony, good morning. The report alleges that claims of abuse were cataloged internally for more than a decade, with little to no follow-up or discipline for alleged perpetrators. Even as SBC leadership was made aware of accusations facing clergy, the report says its main concern was, quote, avoiding any potential liability. The independent investigation commissioned by the Southern Baptist Convention concluded that members of the group's executive committee responded with resistance, stonewalling, and even outright hostility to almost 2 decades of sexual abuse allegations against clergy. According to the report, they kept a secret running list of accused Baptist ministers to avoid being sued, even as the committee publicly claimed it didn't have the authority to create such a list. More than 400 people on it were believed to be affiliated with the SBC at some point. But the report quotes a May 9th, 2019 internal email where the SBC's then general counsel called the focus on sexual abuse, quote, a satanic scheme to completely distract us from evangelism.
Every day is a struggle since I've come forward publicly.
Hannah Kate Williams filed a lawsuit against the SBC on Friday, alleging that she was physically abused by her own father, a pastor, for years. She says it began when she was as young as 4 years old and turned into sexual abuse on her 8th birthday. But when she sought help from the SBC leadership, she says nothing ever happened.
When I was kicked down, I was called a liar. I was called mentally deranged, incompetent, an enemy of God.
The report says the SBC used its system of granting churches autonomy to deflect accountability for local offenders. But allegations of abuse go up to the very top, including a sexual assault claim against former SBC President Johnny Hunt, which he denied in a Facebook post Sunday night.
What, as a survivor, would you like to see change?
I would like to see leaders taking the recommendations of outside experts, not as attacks on their beliefs, but as tools to protect those in their care.
In a statement, the SBC's executive committee said it was reviewing the report and is, quote, committed to doing all we can to prevent future instances of sexual abuse in churches. We also reached out to Hannah Kate Williams' father for comment, but have not heard back. In the past few months, I've spoken with about a dozen other women and men who claim they were sexually abused by Southern Baptist Convention leaders. At the time of the alleged abuse, their ages ranged from 9 to 14. Those survivors are all past their statutes of limitations, which means they can't file a lawsuit in their respective states. Each of them told me they hope this independent report will lead to accountability. And this really reminds me of the Catholic clergy abuse survivors I've spoken with in the past. And each of these survivors have said, we just want to be believed. And I think this report will finally be a step in the right direction.
It's an awful story. You know it's bad when you're suing your own father. You just don't expect to hear sexual abuse and church in the same sentence, but unfortunately we've heard this story before.
She's incredibly brave.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank you, Nikki.